While the rest of the internet was busy dying in Pleasant Park like they were some sort of stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Sponsorship aside, landing and looting in Fortnite is two of the most important things anyone can do inside of the game. It determines really how long you're going to live and what your odds are of actually coming in top 10, top 3, and even top number 1. And before we get things started, can we get a like goal of 1,000 likes? That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're new around here, consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button and join the notification squad with push notifications turned on. That way you get every single video I send your way. If you want to join pre-notification squad, if you love me that much, just write your email address in the comment section below. You'll get videos sent directly to you instead of having to deal with YouTube at all. It's actually a lot better for people who join. But a lot of people decide, oh, we're going to go to these two places on the map. Pleasant Park or the other one, which is called Retail Row. Now, that's not to say that these two locations don't have the best loot in the game. They actually do have great loot every time. But it's always a complete shit show when you go down there because you're not going down there alone. You're going down there with 6 or 7, maybe even 20 other people, and they all want to kill you, and you want to kill them. And my motto is, you either take Pleasant Park, or Pleasant Park takes you. That being said, you don't have to go to those two locations, because on this list video, we're going to show you the top 5 loot locations no one knows about that aren't Pleasant Park or Retail Row. And at number 5, this one's pretty clever. It's the tunnel near Tomato Town. Yes, if you just hover slightly to the east of Tomato Town, there is this god-forsaken tunnel in the road. And basically what it is a highway underpass through a mountain. What you want to do is simply get inside of there. You don't have to go into Tomato Town directly to go inside of it. You can go across the mountain, fly over, and on the other side enter through that if that's where you choose to land. Now this location is pretty cool because it essentially forms what is a hot gate where you can't really get flanked from anywhere. There's only one entrance at the other end of the tunnel and behind you, so there's only 2 real spots that people can get you. There's also sort of a stairwell that sort of creeps up and down, but you'll know if someone comes through there. Usually no one ever does because no one lands on top of the tunnel. It just doesn't make sense. There's so many stairs to climb down there that it would just waste your time. You can just land on the ground and save yourself a whole bunch of time. So why would you do that? Anyway, the coolest feature of the tunnel is the secret hidden loot chest. Yes, there's a secret hidden loot chest within the walls of the tunnel. All you have to do is find this yellow taxi looking car inside the tunnel, and the block in front of it will be the wall that you can break. Simply break it with your pickaxe, and there's always 100% a loot chest in here, and there's always some weapons usually lying around on the outskirts. This is a pretty clutch location because you can control it very easily. You can get your loot and you can get going, so you don't have to deal with the Tomato Town massacre. Because Tomato Town slowly is gaining more popularity as a place to land. However, the tunnel is one of the best kept secrets in the game. And that's number 5 on our list. At number 4, the trailer park. Yes, people don't even know this location exists. This is absolutely astounding. And it's right beside Retail Row. So while all your friends are flying down and falling down at the speed of sound onto Retail Row trying to find some loot and survive for a little bit of the game, you can just simply fly over them and keep flying a little bit to the right. And there's this nonchalantly non-addressed on the map trailer park. And it's absolutely glorious. Why I like the trailer park so much is it's just far enough away from Retail Row that no one really ever pays attention to it. No one really goes there, and they can't hear any of the shenanigans you're getting up to. So while the firefights are going on Retail Row, the fight for Retail Row heats up as a battle. You are inside of the trailer park, and what does the trailer park behold? It has sometimes, usually, 2 chests, and I know that's not a lot. 2 chests is okay. I mean, it's fair dealing compared to the tunnel, which only had 1. But these 2 chests are usually okay goods. But you also have weapons stacked around the whole compound. The trailer park itself is also almost entirely enclosed. There's basically a wall going around the whole thing. So no one really ever sees you. There's no real high ground people can get on you. Additionally, into that, there's not really many routes people can flank you, although they can probably build structures around you. So they're basically only coming in from the main gate, which you can easily control. Beyond that, there are so many trailers inside of the trailer park. You have ample room for coverage. If you get in a firefight or a skirmish and don't have great weapons, you can simply hide and juke out the enemies because there are so many trailers blocking vantage points they won't be able to see you. But what this presents for me personally as one of the best opportunities, aside from being this the creepiest part of the map, there's literally a giant robot made out of cars outside of this. There's a creepy kids play structure, which is disgusting, and there's a whole bunch of swings and assorted bullshit. But when you aim for the trailers, this is the weakest metal that you can collect in the game, and it provides an ample opportunity to collect a whole bunch of it. So when people go to other places to collect metal for their fortresses, they're usually spending a lot of time with the pickaxe dealing damage on these structures. And it takes a while to hunt down some metal for you to build an awesome fort. The trailer park can easily provide you up to 800 pieces of metal very easily with minimal effort. Because the trailer structures are fairly weak, they don't take that long to mine and extract all of the metal from. So it's actually advantageous to land here if you're thinking of building a metal fort. So you get a whole stockpile of metal, 2 chests, and some awesome weapons. And you can go clean up Retail Row once the fighting has sort of finished and played out. The riffraff goes to Retail Row. The smart players hit up the trailer park. Hey, before we continue with this video, the winners from the Jimbo WW2 giveaway. If you didn't know, we were giving away 3 copies of Call of Duty World War II. Here are the winners. We have Tartar Sauce as one of the winners, Ian Lemire as one of the winners, and Azim Ilajami as another one of the winners. Those are your top 3 winners for November 2017. Congratulations, guys, and thank you everyone who entered. At number 3, these white farmhouses. They're sort of in the northern middle of the map, near Pleasant Park, but not quite. You're going to notice that there's these patches of dirt that are on the mini-map, and these are where these 2 farmhouses are. They're side by side, and they can spawn up to 2 chests each, which is pretty clutch. So you can actually get 4 chests between the 2 houses, and they're basically side by side. If you control the area, you can get there. If nobody else lands, you're pretty much in good shoes. The only time this place becomes a real problem is when other teams land in the same area, which can happen if the bus route passes by. Then you might be in some trouble getting the chests because the other team can totally just spread out and then hunt you down if you're solo or if your teammate's not playing it smart. If you guys take both buildings at the same time, you get both chests out of both, or if they have them, then you'll be in good shoes to take on any challengers who wish to oppose you. I think it's a pretty good location, just for the chest amounts alone. Nobody really pays that much attention to this location, but it is close enough in the vicinity that a lot of people do actually land here. People land here more than the trailer park, and people use this location more than the tunnel. However, this next location blows it completely out of the water. And this, at number 2, is the wooden monstrosity in the northeastern part of the map. It's right near the Lonely Lodge and Wailing Woods, but it's just exactly to the right of the Wailing Woods and north of the Lonely Lodge. You'd think it might be the Lonely Lodge itself, but it's not. It's this massive monstrosity wooden structure that's just outlooking the coast, and nobody really pays attention to this because it's so far out of the way. It's at the exact corner of the map, so if you land here you have a long walk depending on where the circle is as the storm encroaches. However, this location is pretty key because this house itself can spawn up to 3 loot chests, 1 on the roof, 1 in the mid, and 1 inside the house itself. Additionally, there's another house nearby which also spawns a loot chest, so that's 4 in an immediate area. If you land here, land on the roof, take that down, and then just run around the house and collect all the stuff. It's wood, it's easy to do. Nobody knows about this. They're all going over to Pleasant Park and Retail Row. This is where you can collect some decent loot. And I mean pretty decent loot for what it is. A wooden structure in the middle of nowhere, but I've always found multiple chests here every game. But lately I found some people are cluing in on this location, especially in the single player game. Usually you might have 1 or 2 other players who might fly up to this because the loot is so good. However, in multi and squad, you will find nobody ever goes here, so you might as well take the flight opportunity and book yourself a ticket to the northeast corner of the wooden monstrosity on Fortnite Battle Royale Island. But that is number 2. At number 1, we have something so special, so amazing, not listed on the map like the others. This is low-key real estate that will get you the most amount of loot in the quickest amount of time, and it's one of the best places you could ever raid. At number 1, without further ado, number 1 is, and I think you guessed it, number 1 is the prison. Yes, let that percolate in your mind for a sec. Let the Fortnite pro player tips run through you and make you a better player from head to toe and back up again, because we are finding the greatest location for loot single-handedly on the map. You don't need no Pleasant Park. You don't need no Retail Row. I don't know about Shady Acres, okay? It's okay. Loot Lake, you're not in my good book. But the prison, not even on the map. The prison is nonchalantly located nowhere on this map. You'll see it, it's on screen. It's this black sort of structure that's on the map but has no label on it. This is where you want to land. Every time I land in the prison, great loot. Great loot. It's a single structure. It spawns up to 4, maybe even 5 chests hidden all throughout the entire structure. Did I mention it's one building, all interconnected through hallways and walkways? That makes it even better, so it's easy to fortify. Not a lot of people go here. They like going to the Pleasant Park, Retail Row, and Anarchy Acres to fight themselves out. When you go to the prison, usually one person can take it easily. If another player shows up in the prison, it's such a big structure, you two might not even run into each other. You wouldn't even know another player was there. It's so massive. Aside from the massive loot caches, there are loot caches in all of the guard towers that can spawn a single loot chest. There's one in the central building on the top floor. There's another one inside the jail cell, hidden within the wall. Hidden within the wall, so it's on one of the corners of the map. The front part, as I said, guard tower to the left, guard tower to the right, both can spawn a chest, and the middle building can also spawn a chest. The third guard tower, another chest. So we're talking 4, possibly even 5 chests spawning, and that's not even talking about the weapon supply cache that is in the prison. Oh my god, holy! Almost every room has a weapon in it. Usually you find a lot of green ARs, which are actually pretty good. I know people are like, oh, I need blue or better. No, green ARs can actually win the game if you're good with them. You find a lot of pistols. You're going to find a lot of tactical shotguns as well. So much. Every single cell almost has stuff in it. This is a golden location that people sleep on. I'm swearing to you, you will find great stuff here. The cafeteria room sometimes even has blue rifles in it, sniper rifles, bolt action. You can even find some purple stuff inside of some of the loot chests or hidden inside some of the rooms. This is the location not to sleep on. I always have good games when I come here. And secondly, all the material that's in the prison is completely brick or steel. No in between. So you have basically the top tier materials in the game to build your fort out of. Thirdly, it's an easy position to fortify. If you want to take and defend the prison, if the circle allows you, it's super easy, dog. You can totally cut down stairwells. People can't climb up without having to spend resources. You can totally fortify your position by isolating parts of the prison, by blocking off certain paths, closing doors, and just making the place a living hell for anyone else trying to get in. It's absolutely great. People don't know what they're doing. Nobody goes to the prison enough. They sleep on it. If you run into another team, you can probably take them out. I see if the bus goes by it, people do land here, but most of the time, oh, it's so easy to take, dog. What I like to do personally is land on the mid building, right near the roof, and then bust in through the side wall, see if there's a chest there. I know there's chests in the guard towers. We're all good, and then it's just a matter of cleaning up if there's any people there, and then collecting my resources. Prison life, dog. I'm saying, it just is the best on our list, and that has been the top 5 loot locations no one knows about. People have been sleeping on these since the game came out. You don't need to go to Pleasant Park. You don't need to go to Retail Row. You follow any of the locations on this list, you're pretty much golden to be in the top 10, top 5, maybe even the top 1. And all I need is a like from you if you watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new around here. Hit the subscribe button, join the notification squad. It always helps out, and I will see you guys in the next Fortnite video.